Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody's trying to make a border and they're using my squiggles. They actually told me that, and so I picked another one. I almost think they're trying to do this to get away from a circle because they didn't think a circle would work. So all he did was take two rectangles and curve the edges, and he's even got his nudge factor set correctly. We left click, right click, and then we're going to, and you could do this probably a number of ways. I'm going to make this one smaller. I'm going to left click, right click, and then I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm just going to make it longer, and maybe that'll look good like right there to have those two curves. And then of course I'd select it all and go weld it so it's all one piece, and I'd fill it in with black, take away the outline. So that's about the right length. It doesn't work, well, it kind of does. If we go to Effects and Envelope, on this one, you're going to want to pick vertical. And it doesn't look too bad. It distorts the ends because of that, but it'll work. So I'm going to hit Shift and select both those and go EC, and then I'm going to move this out of the way. Matter of fact, I'm going to move all this out of the way because we're working to the center of the page. I'm going to move this over. I'm going to Control D and I'm going to alternate C, which rotates it from the center, and then rotate it 90 degrees, Control D, Control D. So it kind of works. Matter of fact, it works pretty good. That's pretty cool. And of course, I would probably take it and left click, right click, and you can see those lines that are intermingled. I don't know if it'll weld it again, but let's try it. Go up to weld, and it worked. And then you could just take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in. That worked a lot better than this one because you had something hanging over. But I really think a circle kind of works better. And we'll just do that because I've done plenty of circles. So we're going to just disallow this and make a little ellipse and hit P, put it in the center of the page. Control D to make a duplicate, hold it down the Shift key to make it like that. We'll bring in an indexing line, or not an indexing line, a 2-point line, and hit P. I'm going to rotate this one 15 degrees. And then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate, and I'm going to mirror it. This is that angle we want. So I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. Of course, that got in my area here. Now I wish maybe I just had one of them, but I can kind of reduce this. You don't want it ultra big. Let me zoom in here. I'm going to left click, right click, and get an outline. And this time I'm going to run putty and just tell you why I did what I did on vertical. It really worked. So, well, this is going to work on the circle. It wouldn't work on that square. Now, if you wanted these touching, let's back up here and let's do this. Since it worked so well, let's rotate this line 15.5 degrees. Okay, now let's move this one out of the way. And let's take this one, Control D, and then mirror it. So now we got 31 degrees. We'll make a new shape. Taking the Smart Fill tool. The Smart Fill tool makes a new object. Left click, right click. Grab our squiggle. And we're going to use putty, and it worked. And then hold down the Shift, select both of them, EC, and then move this over. Don't need the box, just do that. Now we can actually get rid of this. And if you remember, we did originally 30 degrees. Let's bring in our indexing line just so you'll know that we're in the center of the page. So I'm going to hit P, put that in the center, that in the center, and then Control D and alternate C, which is a hotkey that I've shown off. Now this time we're going to rotate 30 degrees. Because if you remember, we had it 31 inches big. So this is going to, well, you know what? The center pieces aren't really touching anyway. So this is going to work good. Control D, 60 degrees. And we could make it touch all the way around. Whoop, I went too far. But you know, I'm touching on the last one. So what did I do wrong? Is it because I went to the 30 degrees? No, well, I got that same loop, so it worked. You know, these aren't touching, but they're touching here where I put them together. This isn't a very good squiggle, but that is pretty cool. Let's do this. Let's left click, right click, and go ahead and weld them. They won't all weld together because they're not all touching. See what I mean? We left a gap there. But because they're welded, we could take now and right click. Well, no, it's just going to do the center part blue. No, I did the whole thing. It just did. I'm going to take away the outline. Now I'm going to make it stand out just so we can see it. I'm going to make it yellow, and then I'm going to put it on a black box just so you can see what it looks like. Object, order, back a page. That's pretty cool. Take away our indexing lines. Anyway, this really worked. You know what? I hope I saved that. There it is. That actually worked pretty good. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.